Here's a line drive out to center field. It's a grand slam! Going back is Shaw. He is going to get there. What a catch. And he's going to hop over the fence while doing it. What a... Coming home is Morales to throw on a double hop. Is it in time? It is in time! Here's a rocket. Deep left field. Does this have a chance to go? It is gone! Go ahead, homer. Tyler Wilkins on the first pitch. Play called for a back on the 14th, and there's number 100. Steven Devaney with a line drive to left. He's 2 for 2. And with triple digits for number 1 as a difference. And here's a ground ball shooting through the left side. And Kingsway has won the Ralph Shaw opener. Here we go. Fly ball deep left center field. And it is gone. Grand slam. Scott Lynch, grand slam. Is the man of the hour. There's a ground ball that's going to go into center field. It's going to be picked up, and it's going to be booted. Here comes the runner to the plate, and Pitman has won it in extras. Walk-off single, Jude Engstrom. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Just like they drew it up in Hollywood. Caladros, the 3-2. Swing and a miss! And the Audubon Green Wave have upset the Kingsway Dragons in the Ralph Shaw Classic.
Live from the historic Davis Field here at Pitman High School, we are here for coverage of the West Jersey Football League between Riverside Rams and the Pitman Panthers. We are going to do our pregame show in just a moment, but they are going to perform the national anthem, and we'll stay on air for that, and then we will talk about the previews of these two teams battling in our continuation of the Friday Night Lights series here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting.
Ladies and gentlemen, please rise. Singing tonight.
I can hear you.
Singing tonight's national. Singing tonight's national anthem, Fiona James.
Well, what a performance of that national anthem by Fiona Davis. That is one of the few national anthem performances where I am genuinely impressed. But Everybody, welcome to Davis Field here at Pitman High School for coverage of the Riverside Rams and the Pitman Panthers here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. I'm Dan with my producer, Vincent Folks. We've got a great one tonight between two teams that are kind of at odds with how they performed this year. Pitman is 1-2 this year. However, their one win came in a 41-0 blowout last week versus the Buna Chiefs, who, as we said, we covered them on September the 1st versus Gloucester, and that was a 54-14 loss for the Chiefs. So Pitman is looking to ride that momentum of Week 3 into Week 4. And what's important for Riverside is that the last time these two played each other, they lost 40-14. However, scores have been close in the past. So, what's the deal here for Riverside? They've won 2 of their first 3 games this year. They're 1-1 in the Horizon Division of the West Jersey Youth League. But Pitman's a small school. This is what I love about Pitman. Last year, their graduating class was 62. I've been told by John Oakley that this year's class is a little bit bigger. But, you know, Vince, these two teams, they played last year 40-14 in favor of Pitman. But Riverside's a different team this year. I think they're a little bit stronger than they were last year. What is your outlook that you've seen this year so far?
I mean, right now, just looking at it, the big thing was grit. And, you know, I think that's the thing that carries a lot of teams. And, you know, especially since you said it's a different team now. You're building up. If you don't quite know, you know, it takes some time to mesh really between each other. But, I mean, a big thing that can really mesh a team is grit and their passion for the sport. And, you know, a lot of people think, oh, that can only carry you so far. Well, I don't know how many times I've seen in the professional leagues and everything how far grit has carried a team in postseasons and from there on winning big-time championships. So, I mean, this team is definitely something not to look over, and Pitman better not look over them or else they may be in for some trouble.
Well, that's what I've said before is that, you know, look, they won 41-0 versus Buna last week. They won 40-14 versus Riverside this time last year. So the job for Pitman today is don't get lackadaisical. And you know how it is with Kyle Kubak, the senior, 6'1", 160 pounds. He's a great QB. He's a relatively mobile QB, and he's had some great stats this year as well from both the passing game and from the rushing game. So we're going to bring our attention back to the field as Pitman is going to receive. We are going to switch the cameras around, and we are going to bring you 48 minutes of West Jersey Football League action right here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. Again, I'm Dan Wilkins here with Vincent Folks, my producer and analyst. Again, Pitman will receive. Riverside will kick off with the white jerseys and red accents. Pitman in the black and orange on the right side of your screen. It's going to be a good one. A bit of a windy night here in Pitman as we anticipate a tropical storm coming this weekend. It's going to be a tough weekend in terms of the weather. Saturday, Sunday, Monday are going to be washouts. So thank goodness we're getting Friday Night Lights in tonight before the tropical storm puts a rain on our parade. Kicking off for Riverside will be number 22, Josh Winkler, for the visitors. Pitman will receive to start the ballgame. 48 minutes to go, 48 minutes to play. Winkler sends this one away. Line drive. Lights just went out here in the booth.
Chase Rollins on the return.
Chase Rollins on the return. He's going to get to the 40, and Pitman's going to take this one over with Kyle Kubat and friends getting their start here in Week 4. Someone must have the light switch down there. No more light for us, so somebody didn't pay their PSE&G bill, you know? So again, Pitman 1-2 this year, but their 2 losses were both one-score games. A 14-13 loss in overtime to Shalek, and not in overtime, but a 14-13 loss to the Shalek Cougars, who are 4-0 this year, and a 6-0 loss to the Cumberland Colts. Kubat's going to hand this one off, spinning around. That's going to be Trey Tinges, who's going to get about 5 yards at the 45.
Tackle number 20, Anthony Shipnick.
A 6-0 loss to Cumberland in Week 2, and then a 41-0 win in their home opener, 15th versus Buna. This is their second of 3 home games in a row, playing Lower Cape May next week on October 6th. Kubat's going to hand the ball again over to Tinges. He's going to get a couple more yards right at midfield. Question is, where's this one going to be spotted? Actually, they are going to call it a third down. So they are going to call it a third down, but it's going to be quite a short one, right exactly on the 50.
Ball spotted at the 50-yard line.
A quick drive and a quick advancement here for Pitman. Kyle Kubat running in the I form. 2 men to his left. And that's going to be a flag, and I think that's going to benefit the home side. Let's take a look at the white cap. Yeah, it's going to be on Riverside, so that will advance the ball for a first down. 10:48 on the clock here in the first quarter. Just getting started here at Davis Field. Next to Pitman Middle School, I should clarify. We are just a couple blocks away, though, from the high school down Waverly Avenue. They'll try it again. 1st and 10 from the 45. Kubat's going to hand off to number 11, Rollins, and he's going to get knocked back. Riverside, on the other hand, they're 2-1, but in their 2 wins this year, one has been a one-score game, and the other was a 59-0 blowout of Lindenwold on September the 8th. They beat Princeton, the Princeton Tigers, to start the season on September 2nd, and then a 42-18 loss to Shalek on the 15th. So both of these teams have lost to Shalek this year. That's a kind of uniting factor. Kubat's going to have a play fake here. That's going to go to the right. And Tinges is still short. It's going to be 3rd down for the 2nd time in this drive. Pitman's going to be forced with a 3rd and short. I mean, Pitman's moving the ball. They're moving the ball right around well, actually, they're further behind than where they were at the offsides penalty at the 47. They're moving the ball, but they're moving the ball slowly. Kubat in the shotgun. Waiting on signal from Chris Thomas, the head coach. And the West Virginia grad, Chris Thomas. Kubat's going to drop back the pass. He's going to let it fly. It is caught! What a catch at the 20. 1st down, Pitman. Stephen Devaney brings it down.
Number 1, Stephen Devaney. Captain number 11, Rafi Clemente.
Stephen Devaney, the 3-sport athlete, collected his 100th hit as a baseball player this May in a game that we covered here on DWB. Now they're in the red zone at the 17. Kubat's going to hand off to Tinges.
4 Trace Tinges on the carry.
And that's not going to go too far. 2nd down. There's about 8:40 left in the first. Still early here in Pitman. As fans are still buying tickets here, still walking down the sidewalk and getting themselves settled in. Well, Pitman's also getting settled in as well here on this first drive. Kubat hands off to Rollins. Oh, ball might be loose here. See if they get here. Now with a swarm of defenders there. Pitman's going to hang on here for a 3rd down and about 4 from the 10. Kubat might want to let it fly here, but they might be still cautious in getting that first score. Here's a handoff, left side, Tinges, corner. That's going to be short.
Number 52, Felipe Santos.
So it's going to be 1st and goal from inside the 5. Actually, at the 7-yard line, excuse me. There's a handoff. No, Kubat's going to play fake. It is caught by Rollins, and it's a touchdown, Panthers!
Number 5, Kyle Kubat pass.
Panthers get on the board. Just 7 minutes into the quarter. And they lead 6-0 as the band plays on. Pitman leads early. Number 13, Hudson Rue, will kick. I think that is, I can't tell who's holding there, but Rue, the former soccer player on the Pitman Panthers club, now testing his skills in the gridiron. It's up, it's away, and it's into the parking lot. It's 7-0. We're going to take a quick break. 7:08 left in the first. Pitman gets on the board on a pass to Chase Rollins in the red zone. We'll be right back. Tommy D's Home Design Center has opened a second location on Creek Road in Belmar, operating in Philadelphia for over 25 years and now expanding into South Jersey. Tommy D's is the place to go for kitchen cabinets, countertops, and cabinet accessories, heavily discounted compared to big box retailers. Stop in, take a seat, and watch as our experienced kitchen designer makes the kitchen of your dreams right in front of you. Tommy D's is the best in the business for quality kitchen countertops and cabinets that fit all budgets. Call us today at 856-210-9504 or visit the new location in person on the corner of Creek Road and Harding Avenue in Belmar next to the 42 on-ramp. Here we are, 7:07 left in the first. This broadcast is brought to you by Tommy D's Home Improvement Center, serving Philadelphia and South Jersey for over 25 years. Visit today in their brand new second in-person location on the corner of Creek Road and Harding Avenue in Belmar next to the 42 on-ramp for wholesale cabinets and countertops at heavily discounted rates compared to big box retailers. Visit today. Hudson Rue will send this one away. That's going to be a line drive. It's going to roll. It's picked up by Riverside's number 11, Dean Cox. And he is knocked out. So Porter Kostiak on the that one out there. It's going to bring up a Riverside ball here at their own 37. For their first offensive drive of the night.
Ball spotted at their own 37.
Riverside's football schedule for the rest of this year, they play Bishop Eustace next week, Gloucester Catholic on the 7th, then they play Wildwood, Palmyra, and then their Thanksgiving game versus Florence. That's a handoff to number 1. He's going to get to the 50, and that's going to be enough for a first down for Riverside.
Number 1, Justin Mary Jr. on the carry. Tackle number 6, Porter Kostiak. First and 10, Riverside. Ball spotted at the 50-yard line.
Here we go again. Handoff to number 2, John Boston.
Number 2, John Boston on the carry.
On forward progress, we'll see where he gets on that. No, that's going to be short for sure.
By a host of Pitman Panthers.
I think those are, our public address announcer for Pitman just made a great note. I keep seeing number 11s on the side of the jerseys, but no, that's just two red accent stripes. Those are just red accent stripes. Jameer Brown in the shotgun. Brown rolling out. It's caught by John Boston. He rolls around to the 30, and he is down inside the 30. That's going to be another Riverside first down.
Number 7, Jameer Brown's pass, complete to number 2, John Boston. Tackle number 6, Porter Kostiak.
First down, Riverside from from Pitman's 29. Oh, sorry.
First and 10, Riverside. Ball spotted on Pitman.
Yeah, our rosters keep falling over. It is a windy night here in Pitman, although it has died down since the sun has set a little while ago. But it's going to be even worse this weekend. Brown going to hand it off to number 1, Justin Mary Jr.
Number 1, Justin Mary Jr.
That's going to be a tackle inside the 20. Riverside's driving, and they are moving the ball fast.
Coming out here, ladies and gentlemen, this one is, they're really moving down the field. They've been almost getting first downs on every one play they do. The last one was a pass, but one out of bounds, but they've been really moving the ball. Let's see what they can do.
Brown again to Boston. And he'll ship this one up to Boston and going to be short of a first.
John Boston to carry.
I mean, you look at Riverside's numbers. They only had Jameer Brown only had 221 passing yards this year. He only had 46 passing yards this year. This is a ground-based team by far. Pittman is a little bit of both, but Riverside is easily one of the most consistent rushing teams in the West Jersey League, as that's going to be swallowed up by a host of Panthers, including number 51, that being Mr. Ethan Loudner.
Number 7, Jameer Brown on the carry. Tackle number 11, Chase Rollins.
For those just tuning in, Pittman scored early, but Riverside is not lying down yet. The Rams are ramming through here in this first offensive drive. 4:15 left in the first. The clock you see on the bottom of your screen, we're trying to reflect that as closely as possible to the official score up here in the booth at Davis Field. So it may be off by a couple of seconds. Handoff to Boston. And that might set up and it was 4th and 1, so see if they can get here. First down, Riverside. That's huge there for Riverside. That continues their momentum. I mean, it goes without saying, but these guys needed, Riverside after last year losing 40-14 to Pitman, this year, if they want to have a competitive game, what they need to do is they need to get on the board early, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. And we'll see what they get here. There's going to be a flag in the middle of all that from John Boston.
John Boston to carry.
It's on the offense.
That one 51, Ethan Loudner. There was a penalty on the play.
It was on the offense, but I didn't see what the penalty was. And number 6, that being Jasir Bowens, had a question for the ref. We'll see. He just apologized to the coach. Oh, okay. So when we get official words from the scorer, we'll relay that to the viewers at home. Oh, they're going back to where they started. So I don't know. I saw the flag, but well, they're going to go back to where they started. It looks like 2nd down. Yeah. I've seen a couple times where the flag falls out of the ref's pocket. They're going to run the clock again, 3:34. Again, that clock on the bottom of your screen may be off by a little bit. I have no idea, to be honest with you. I have no idea what's going on.
They declined a penalty.
Wow, they declined a penalty. Well, we don't know what the penalty was, so all we know is on Riverside, and thank you for the assistance, though. Appreciate it. It is interesting, though, hearing that feedback from the officials and, seeing the communication that exists between them. But after the penalty, John Boston gets a decent run. It's going to be 3rd down and mid-range.
John Boston's carry. Tackle number 1, Steve Giovanni.
John Boston, the 5'9", 180-pound senior, has rushed for... Actually, this year, he has a total of 261 yards rushing, 5 touchdowns. He actually has a passing touchdown this year as well, which I am surprised by, but that's interesting. So Boston seems like that jack-of-all-trades guy for Riverside. But right now, they are getting everything right. John Boston's going to break free, but as soon as I say that, he gets swallowed up. Still in the red zone. See where they spot this one.
Tackle number 2, Adriano Platt.
So Platt on the tackle for Pitman. I think it's going to be 4th and short. Yeah, that's what it's going to be. Riverside has been in this situation before. They got through. We'll see if they can do it again. Under 2 minutes left in the quarter. Moving quicker. 7-0 in favor of the home side Pitman Panthers. Handoff to Boston.
Number 2, John Boston, the carry.
I think he might have gotten it, but let's see. They are going
Tackle number 4, Trey
to...
Pigeons.
They're going to stop the clock, first of all, at 1:36. And they are going to not move the chains. They will drop them as it's 1st and goal from the 8. Here from Davis Field, Riverside looking to tie it up. Need the touchdown in the PAT, and hold on now. Timeout called by Riverside.
Timeout, Riverside.
So we'll take a quick break. 1:21 left in the first. 7-0 in favor of the Panthers. Timeout's over. Riverside get back into it. About 80 seconds left in the quarter. And off to John Boston. He's got a run, and he is going to keep waltzing his way and dancing his way around. It's going to be short.
Tackle number 51, Ethan Loudner.
There's a Pitman player in the middle of that swarm, Ethan Loudner. He finally gets up. I was afraid he was hurt for a second. It's going to be at the 2. They're a couple of yards away from the touchdown. We'll see what they can do here. Boston's going to drive. He's going to ship it to Boston, and it is good. Riverside touchdown. Tie game. Well, tie game if they do the PAT.
On the touchdown run for Riverside. Riverside will now attempt the extra point.
So 7-6 in the dwindling moments of the first quarter. How about that for the visitors? Again, a 40-14 loss last year. The outcome looking a lot different. They are going to go for 2. Thank you. It's risky, but if it works, it's genius. But if it doesn't, you're down 1, and that could be the deal breaker. Carrying it himself. 2-point conversion, good for Riverside. They lead 8-7 with 39 seconds left in the first quarter. Vince, this game is looking a lot different than it was last year.
Yeah, I mean, this is what I said. I mean, you got a team that's very aggressive, and you can see right there from the coaching staff making that very aggressive play. Wasn't really what I would have done, because if it didn't work, you'd be down by 1, but hey, it worked, and now they are leading by a point, and that 1 point could be the decider in the future of this game.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if I was a head coach, I wouldn't have done it, but I respect them for doing it, for putting themselves out on the line and making a risky play, because football takes guts. You cannot be a conservative, lackadaisical head coach in this game. You've got to be aggressive. You've got to be risky. You've got to be gutsy. That's exactly what Riverside did. And if Pitman scores at some point in this first half, or at another point in this first half, since they already got that first touchdown 5 minutes in, the question is, would they go would they go for 2 and try to level that? So that is something that Chris Thomas and their assistants, Guy Davidson, Jim McCabe, Jim Rizzolo, Jeff Smith, and John Weisburn, they are all going to have to confer that for the last 40 seconds of this first quarter and the next 12 minutes of the half. Winkler with a short kick. It's going to take a couple bounces, goes to Devaney, and he gets wrestled at the 45, at the 40 rather.
Tackle number 44, Max D'Angelo.
So Pitman's going to set this one up at the 44. Great crowd on hand here in Pitman. Looks like the student section is in a, they're in a neon theme. There's a handoff to Rollins. Going to get maybe a yard or two, nothing too far. And now there's a late flag as they tried to rough around.
11 Chase Rollins on the carry.
Yeah, I think I could see that one coming.
Tackle number 52, Felipe Santos. There's a penalty on the play.
That would be on number 5 for Riverside, that being Julian Rodriguez.
Personal foul against Riverside.
And they're going to move this one up a great deal. Yeah, it looks like Pitman is in their neon colors. Maybe they're going to start working for New Jersey to get that 42 overpass done. Yeah, they've already got the vests.
40-yard line.
8 seconds left in the quarter. Kubat, handoff, one last play for Tinges, and a swarm of Riverside, including number 9, that being Teddy Hawkins, and number 77, George Brennan. That's going to end the first quarter 8-7 in favor of the Rams. We'll be right back after this.
That's the answer to the first.
Tommy D's Home Design Center has opened a second Garden State Pet Center is an independently owned full-service pet store. Our specialty is promoting companionship between people and animals by providing the healthiest product choices available, including all-natural foods, supplements that support and relieve health issues, and innovative products for pet parents. Our goal is to provide our customers with a relaxing environment, and while we're not striving to be the biggest store on the East Coast, we're striving to be the best. No other pet store will make you feel at home like we do. At Garden State Pet Center, we view pets as members of the family. We don't believe in fast, high-pressure sales, but instead matching up the right pet with the right owners as you are making a lifelong commitment. Together with our team members, we would like your visit to our store to be both enjoyable and educational. Simply drop in and take a look around. View the birds, reptiles, small animals, toys, food, cages, and miscellaneous items. Learn of the services we have to offer and decide for yourself if this is the store you'd like to call your home away from home.
Victor Santucci, owner of Garden State Pet Center. Visit us today.
Second down.
Here in the second quarter. 12 minutes to play in the half. 8-7.
Riverside, 42-yard line.
Pitman, after a personal foul, got a good advantage there. Kubat, handoff up the middle. Trey Tinges gets that one across for about 5 yards.
Tackle number 12, Dean Potts. Third down and 5 for Pitman. Ball spotted at the Riverside 35-yard line.
That's 35. Rubat back in the shotgun. Tinges to his left. Gets a snap. Perfect snap. Tinges gets a little bit there, not too much.
Tackle number 52, Felipe Santos. Fourth down and 2, Pitman. Ball spotted at the Riverside 32-yard line.
Hand off to Rollins.
11 Chase Rollins on the carry.
That's not going to be enough. And Riverside stops them promptly. All the momentum was looking like it was going to Pitman after that personal foul, and they're going to turn this party over. And Riverside's going to get it back.
Riverside's going to start off for the first and 10. Ball spotted at the room, 32-yard line.
Riverside takes over. This broadcast is brought to you by DJK Roofing, South Jersey's #1 roofing provider with over 200 5-star reviews on the web. Get a free quote today at 856-778-3900. Financing options are available. Just ask for Carmine. dropping back, in trouble, and a sack. Loudner. That was either Loudner or number 56, Dominic Safiati. Couldn't tell with how thick the jersey numbers are. So Brown in trouble, and that's going to set up second and long. Some early out-of-town scores. Holmdel beat Manasquan 23-0. Jackson Liberty beat Lakewood 28-20. Keyport beat Manchester Township 35-33. Colts Neck beat Red Bank Regional 42-7. Pompton Lakes beat Saddlebrook 45-20. And Marlboro beat Lacey 21-7. Handoff, this might be trouble, and getting leveled inside the 30. Boston gets taken down.
Tackle number 11, Chase Rollins.
We're going to try it again, 3rd and 15.
Fourth down and 9, Riverside, ball spotted at the road, 33-yard line.
8:40 left in the half. 8-7 Riverside. That 2-point conversion is looking pretty important now. That punt's going to be sent away. It's going to roll. It's going to roll a long way. And a late hit. Yeah, he got it. That was the return or lack thereof by... Is that number? Oh, that was number 9, Blaine Ackerman. I thought that was number 8, but the folds of the jersey I couldn't tell.
Number 9, Blaine Ackerman on the return.
Oh, yeah, I'm good.
If it is, let's get it.
It looks like you see the referee.
10-4. Kubat, handoff up the middle. Hinges with the carry. Don't forget, folks, we've got Friday Night Lights next Friday with Glassboro and Clayton. Big thanks to John Chamberlain and Dan Antonelli for having us out there. 7 p.m. start time. And then Saturday the 30th, Woodbury and Gloucester from Woodbury. Big thanks to Anthony Reagan Sr. and Dan Howie, the AD of Woodbury, who is leaving in October to come be the student personnel director at my high school, Audubon.
Tackle number 0, Isaiah.
So a bit of a local connection.
Third down and 2 for Pitman. Ball spotted at the room, 21-yard line.
Kubat gonna drop back. He's in trouble. Rolling around, scrambling to the left. And he gets taken down.
Number 5, Kyle
Decent
Cuban
hit
on the
there.
carry.
I wouldn't call that a carry. He had no other options. I mean, he either lets it fly downfield and risk an interception,
Tackle number
or
7, Jameer Brown.
really didn't have anything else there. So that was a QB on QB tackle right there. And that's going to bring up 4th and 4. Pittman's going to punt. Believe that is Rue back there. And hold on now. We have a timeout called by Riverside. They use their second of the half. About halfway through here in the second quarter, Vince. After that turnover, it seems like neither Riverside or Pitman has gotten any momentum.
Yeah, right now, I mean, and this is what usually happens. Sometimes it happens with no scoring. Sometimes it happens with a lot of scoring. But usually, the beginning of the game jitters. It takes a while for defenses to warm up. And what we're looking at here is the possibility of that happening. Right now, both teams haven't really been able to do anything since their first drives. And now, right now, we're looking for any momentum, and it can come with a good pass. It can come with a good run. So, I mean, momentum can spike with one good play, and that's all it usually takes. So we'll see what happens here. But like I said, and one big play could change the momentum for the team and could make a good scoring drive. We'll just have to see what happens.
We will have to see what happens indeed. 4th and 4. They're still bringing out the punt squad. Excuse me, Loudner is the punter. Hopefully it's a good boot. It is a good boot. They're going to bring it all the way back. Oh, it's going to take a backspin. It's going to keep rolling. Oh, my goodness. The ball's got a mind of its own. They're going to line it up at the 45. That is not what you wanted. I mean, you know, these guys play on grass. You can see on the bottom of your screen there's a couple of dirt patches out of the grass. This is a small school.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, I heard from John Hopley that last year's graduating class was 62. I heard this year's is a little bit bigger. But this school, you know, they play their football games at the local middle school.
Yeah.
You know, this is a school that doesn't really, we don't need turf. They don't need turf over here.
Grass is usually better than turf, so sometimes
Safety-wise, yes. The only benefit of turf is that it has better drainage systems for the rain, and it looks prettier. That's the only difference. But on our cameras, don't really notice it too much. Brown's going to take it himself. Jameer Brown with a helmet-to-helmet hit with number 56. That being Dominic Safiati, the 6'1" senior for Pitman.
Number 7, Jameer Brown on the carry.
That was a good carry indeed. Going to bring up 2nd down and short.
Dominic Safiati.
Brown in the shotgun. And we got a flag down. It's going to be a false start. Riverside does the Macarena. It's going to be 2nd down. Yeah, I was just looking at something. Jameer Brown got taken out?
Yeah.
I don't know. I didn't see if he got hurt, but Dean Potts is in the game.
That's what I was going to say.
So, this is interesting. With Justin Mary Jr. as well. Riverside's a diverse team. I mean, they've got everybody playing every position, and that's a big stop by Pitman with less than 5 left in the half.
He's tagged with number 1, Stephen Devaney. Third down and 7. Riverside, ball spotted at their own 48-yard line.
So inside their own 48, about 6 yards, 7 yards rather, to the goal. First down marker at their opposite 45. A passionate Pitman crowd looking for a 3rd down stop. Brown rolls out. He's back in. That's a line drive pass caught. Keep rolling. It's a touchdown, Riverside.
Touchdown,
Teddy
Riverside.
Hawkins blows the game open. Oh,
Number 7, Jameer Brown.
Brown rolled out to the right. He let it fly, and Riverside extends their lead. It is 14-7, and a PAT would make it 15.
Yeah. This is exactly what I was saying. One big play. Well, in this case, the one big play was the play to get the touchdown. I mean, that was incredible.
They are going to go for 2 again.
Oh, wow.
To make it 16-7, which would be a 9-point game
aggressiveness.
We're going to have some weird scores by the end of the night, I'll tell you that much. And this Pitman crowd, once lively, now a little bit humbled after that touchdown. There's a handoff up the middle by Justin Mary Jr., and that's going to be good. 16-7. Riverside leads by 9. What a turn of events. 4:11 left in the half. We'll be right back. Riverside leads 16-7.
And Pitman.
Riverside leads 16-7 over Pitman with that Panther emblem at the middle of the field. Riverside with an incredible touchdown caught by Teddy Hawkins.
Getting set to kick for Riverside, number 2, Josh Winkler.
So Josh Winkler going to send this one away for the visitors. 4:11 left in the half. That's a ground ball kick. Picked up by Devaney.
Number 1, Steven Devaney on the return.
That's going to be close to midfield as well. What I've been seeing is that both teams have had some great returns tonight. Both of these teams, when they have kickoffs, other team usually brings it back to the 40 or 50. I know that in high school that's not entirely uncommon, but it is uncommon to see it in basically every drive. You know, obviously kicking off from the 40, you're not going to see a lot of touchbacks, you know, unless there's a kickoff applied penalty, but it's interesting to see how well the kick return teams have been for both sides. Handoff.
Number 4, Trey Tinges on the carry.
Tinges gets there.
Tackle number 14, Caleb Bland.
And we have a Riverside player down on the far sideline. So they're going to stop the clock here, 3:41. Folks, don't forget to stay tuned just before the start of the second half with the DJK Roofing halftime show and a preview of what's next for us on DWB. Our next broadcast will be Salem Community College softball for their fall games from Salem, September 24th. First game's at 10 a.m. And then after that, we've got boys soccer on Monday, the 25th. The Wildwood Warriors make a long bus trip up to Gloucester Catholic to play the Rams, 4 o'clock start time, weather permitting, of course. And then we'll have an Audubon doubleheader, Collingswood and Audubon JV soccer at 5, boys soccer at 7 as senior night is celebrated. After that, I believe that is the 27th. I think we're off on the 27th, and then after that, September 28th. I'm trying to think what my own schedule is. I don't know what my own schedule is right now. I'm blanking out here. But for our next football broadcast, that will be Friday the 29th, Glassboro and Clayton, and then Woodbury and Gloucester in Woodbury on the 30th. Woodbury, the reigning Group 1 state champs. That's going to be a great game between two Group 1 powerhouses. Handoff up the middle to Tinges, and he gets wrestled around.
First and 10, Pitman. Ball spot at the Riverside 41-yard line.
Hand off to Rollins. Never mind. I don't know who had that one, but now Timeout's
That
going
was number
to
5, Kyle Kubat.
be. So Kubat took it himself. A little bit of a trickery there. First down for Pitman from the 30. Tinges breaking up here. I got to say, I think Riverside scoring that big touchdown has ignited Pitman. They are driving hard, but the problem is they only have 2.5 minutes left in the half to do it. The challenge is they still have all 3 of their timeouts. Riverside has 1, so the ball is in their court. They've just got to execute. They've got to get it done. But this has been a drastically different game than what I expected. Kubat from the pocket lets it fly. Corner taken away. Jameer Brown, the quarterback, plays both sides. That was Jameer Brown on the deflection in the corner of the end zone. That pass was intended for number 15, Wyatt Thompson. Hudson Rue, excuse me. Again, those jersey numbers are just so bold that you can't really tell, so apologies to our viewers at home. I'm sure you can see it better than I can. Tinges gets a drive and gets it inside the 15. And that's going to be enough to move the chains for a Pitman first down. Now inside the 2-minute mark in the half. 1:55 and counting. Here from beautiful Davis Field, a bit of a chillier night than usual. But Riverside's red hot tonight. Tinges gets a carry.
Tackle number 54, Ryan Freitas. Second down and 5 for Pitman. Ball spot at the Riverside 10-yard line.
Tinges gets another drive. It's going to be close, but he's going to be inside the 5.
Tackle number 52, Felipe Santos.
.60 seconds and counting in the half. Pitman needs to get back on the board here in order for them to have at least somewhat of a semblance. Yeah, it's going to be first and goal from the 5. 42
first and goal
seconds.
From the 5-yard line.
We'll see what Pitman can do. Caught by Tinges. It is a Pitman touchdown.
Touchdown, Pitman.
Oh! Pitman needed the lucky break before the half, and they did it. 30 seconds left, and Kubat dumps it off to Trey Tinges. And it's 16-13. And it looks like, from the looks of it, they're going to just go for 1, and they're going to play the safe game. Because at least being down by 2 is better than being down by 3 if that 2-point conversion doesn't work.
Pitman, number 13, Hudson Rue.
Rue was successful in his first attempt. With the backdrop of the Pitman Middle School behind him, we'll see what he can do. Holding is number 6, Porter Kostiak. Getting ready to go. Remember, Riverside on their 2 touchdowns went for 2 both times. That one's up, away, and good. It's 16-14.
Extra point is good.
Riverside leads by 2.
Riverside 16.
You know, we go over this charade almost every single time that we are approaching halftime, but now that Pitman is back within a 2-point game, what do you think the tone is in the locker room?
Well, I mean, right now, for Pitman in general, the tone should be, to keep the drive going, to try to make, for the offense in general, to kind of not pay attention to the score. When you're down, especially since, Riverside being aggressive, going for those 2-point conversions, You got to make sure your offense is real focused on then and now. Not focused on the scoreboard, but focused on the drive at hand. The main thing is, when you're going in that drive, the main thing is to score. It's not about looking at the scoreboard. Right now, it's to get that drive done, and that's exactly what they did to make it a 2-point game.
13, Hudson Rue. Back deep to receive for Riverside. Number 2, John Boston. And number 1, Justin Mary Jr.
30.4 seconds in the half. Vince is a little proud of himself because he stopped it within .4.
I almost did. 0.8.
It's like on The Price is Right when you got to land the wheel on $1 and you hit the 5 or the 1. Rue with a line drive kick. You can see that soccer roots. You can see it in him.
He touched it.
He touched it. Wait a second.
Yeah, he touched the ball.
He touched it, but it went out of bounds.
Yeah.
Penalty in play.
Oh, he touched that. Yeah, he did. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yes.
believe so.
Yeah.
The Pitman crowd not too pleased with that one because that would be a kicking out of bounds penalty.
Yeah, I have to agree with the Pitman crowd that he did. He definitely.
But
touched that
I
out.
think he might have touched it while he was out of bounds.
Yes, he did touch
Which
it,
would
yes.
justify that call. You know, Ty Montgomery of the Packers did that several years ago where he had 1 foot out of bounds. He touched the ball so that it would be out of bounds.
Yes, that's exactly, with the ruling, if you,
They're going to re-kick it.
oh, they're going to re-kick it. Wow.
I've never seen this before.
Yeah, this is
They have the option.
Well, usually they don't take the option, but this time they do. And they are just going to go way back.
very interesting. Very interesting.
Well, you got to imagine the home crowd's a little bit on edge because they were not happy about that call. I see both sides of it. I didn't get a clear angle from where I was looking, but I think what the argument for Pitman is that he touched the ball. But what we saw from you, Vince, is that, and what I heard also from some other folks, is that the Riverside player might have touched the ball while he was already out of bounds, which, like I said, Ty Montgomery did that, I think, like 2013, about 10 years ago, for
against Pitman, they went out kick off from their own 35-yard line.
from the Packers. He did that a little while back. He had 1 foot out of bounds, touched the ball with the other foot and the rest of his body inbounds, which still counted as kicking out of bounds. So a little bit of cautious genius, and that onside kick's not going to work, and now that kick goes out of bounds. So 2 kicking out of bounds penalties in a row.
That one was not where you were.
I did not have that on my bingo card. I don't think they're going to decline the penalty again. I think they're going to take the even better field position this time.
That went out at least at the 45.
And Jameer Brown, he can sling the ball. He can easily sling the ball. Don't be surprised if they get back on the board in these last 30 seconds with 29.9 left.
At least you have one timeout, right?
Riverside has 1 timeout.
One timeout.
Pittman should have all 3.
Go back 5 yards, kicking again.
Oh my goodness, they're kicking again. We
That's
are.
the one rule
What do
I
they
don't
say?
agree
Third
with.
time's the charm, right? They're gonna kick this one off
They're gonna kick again.
for the 3rd time.
Through 30-yard line.
Oh my goodness. I can't say I've ever seen this one before, Vince.
That's
3
a rule that
kickoffs
needs to
in
be
a row,
changed.
and they are going to kick it off from their own 30 because it's a 5-yard penalty.
This is fun, isn't it?
I think Hudson Rue's going to learn his lesson from that onside kick. He's just going to send this one away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the safe play. Kick it as far up the middle as possible. Oh, gets wrestled around there, number 44, and he gets taken down. That is number 44, Max D'Angelo.
Max D'Angelo on the return.
And Riverside's going to take over, albeit with not as good field position as they could have had.
Yeah.
Because correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, I'm not a football rules expert. You know, I'm not. What's his name? I think it's Dean Blandino. Yes, he works for Fox Sports. But I think I just know from the Sunday football games and from NFL Red Zone. But I think if they didn't decline that penalty, they would have taken it over from where the ball was kicked out of bounds. No.
I think that's
No?
usually how it
Okay. Well, that's why I said correct me if I'm wrong.
different rules in this
So.
going on.
Well, I can't get them all right.
Yeah.
Timeout called by Riverside. They take their last one of the half. We'll
Timeout,
take a quick break.
Riverside.
A little bit of drama here in Pitman and a little bit of a weird situation. It's 16-14, 21.2 left in the half. .2 left here in the half, 16-14, and they are going to kneel.
I'm just going to let it go.
They're just going to let it roll. We got a little bit of rules confirmation from our clock operator that should have been Riverside's ball from where he touched it, because from what he saw, the ball was touched in bounds, and then he stepped out of bounds. So maybe a little bit of controversy, but that's going to end the first half with a 16-14 score. Riverside up by 2. What a weird game this has been. We'll be back in a couple of minutes with our DJK Roofing halftime show and more here from Davis Field. I'm Dan Wilkins with Vincent Vogt. We'll be back in a few. We'll be right back, folks. End of the first half. Riverside leads Pitman 16-14. Your thoughts?
Well, right now, just looking at the momentum right now is a seesaw. You know, for a while, when it started, it was, something, both teams had it. Then it cooled down for a bit, right? There was no points being scored. And then all of a sudden, Riverside got a good drive in, one good throw, a touchdown, and then guess who responded immediately? Pittman went down the field and responded. So right now it's been a seesaw, but because of Riverside's aggressiveness, they're up by 2 with both of those 2-point conversions being good. So right now,
without that, it's a tie game.
Yeah, without that, it's a tie game. So just one side's more aggressive right now, and
one side's a little more gutsy.
We'll see what this half has to bring.
24 minutes left. Halftime show would have been a little bit longer, but I got stuck in halftime lines.
John.
A little bit of a rolling kick picked up by number 6, Jasir Bowens. He gets a nice drive. Oh, ball's loose! Ball is out! Here he goes!
Touchdown, Pitman.
Unbelievable start to the half up on the berm. I believe that was Wyatt Thompson on the return. Somebody ending in a 5 picked that one up. Number 11, thank you, Chase Rollins.
Touchdown by number 11, Chase Rollins.
Unbelievable. You want to talk about a good start. Pittman now leads 20-16, and Hudson Rue's going to be out there scrambling out as Paul Eller to take in at the left guard.
Number 13, Hudson Rue will attempt the extra point.
Rue will kick. Again, Kostiak will hold. Up, away, and good. Into the parking lot. It's 21-16. Man. Talk about a fast start. Ball gets out right away. And
Riverside 16.
Wow. I mean, this has been a weird game. This has, I mean, last week we saw Northern Burlington and Cherry Hill West with a flea flicker, with a Philly special. Yeah, but you don't get much better than this.
I say ball stolen. I'm like, how do I do that? I never had to do that.
Oh, my goodness. What a way to start the second half with Chase Rollins sending it away. And it's 21-16. Folks, we did just have an opening in our schedule due to a miscommunication with the Rowan Open House not being Saturday but Sunday the 24th. But because of the impending rain, we will not schedule any last-minute football games for Saturday with how bad it's going to be. We were going to switch. We were going to switch. Haddonfield and Woodbury. We were going to switch that in. But because of how bad the rain is going to be, we decided against it. Rue blocks it. Oh my! Oh my!
Extra point is recovered by number 1, Steven Devaney.
Devaney got it back! Wow. That ball moved around like a pinball machine. Call it Space Cadet.
Ball spotted at the 50-yard line.
Unbelievable. They've recovered 2 kicks. Are you kidding me? This is unbelievable. I have never seen this insane of a game before. This might go into our DWB Classics game playlist by the end of the night. And that might be a false start. I think Adriano Platt got a little bit ahead of himself, and he did. Keep in mind that only 18 seconds have passed in this third quarter. Are you? Oh my God, that is one of the craziest sequences of events that I've ever seen.
Talk about momentum switching right there, ladies and gentlemen.
Riverside looked like that they had the key to the city in the half. Pittman, I don't know what they were feeding those kids in the locker room, but it had to be something special.
Number 4, Trey Kinges on the carry.
Maybe they went down the street and got Angelo's for breakfast, you know? Had a healthy breakfast. Although that one they just sold that to Rowan.
77, George Brandon.
What's the other one I'm thinking of? I don't know what's the other one. Angelo's is the best, yes. I do agree.
Ooh, you gotta be careful there.
Yeah, I was going to say, Teddy Hawkins has got to be careful. He almost jumped the gun.
Yeah.
11:03 and counting in the third. Kubat, handoff to Rollins, gets through up the middle and gets about 5 yards out of it.
Tackle number 20, Anthony Shipnick.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. That is some great pizza. I don't know where they get it from, but that is some excellent pizza. Kubat dumps it off to Tinges. He got it off just in time, but he's not going to get anywhere with it. And that's down on the Riverside sideline.
Number 5, Kyle Kubat's pass, complete to number 4, Trey Kinges.
Pitman fans,
Number 0, Isaiah Alley-Lewis.
Pitman fans, if you know where the snack stand gets their pizza, let me know so I can order about 5. That is excellent. I'll have to know. I mean,
Keep it in the freezer for next.
that one place on Broadway. It's now a. I think that one place on Broadway is now it's a Thai restaurant. I think it is, but it used to be a really good pizza place. I forget what it's called. Kubat drops back and just off. Intended for number 6 to Porter Kostiak.
Ball's incomplete.
What a game this has been. I mean,
Pitman turns the ball over on down. Riverside's going to start off with a 1st and 10. Ball spotted at their own 44-yard line.
you just don't get much better than this.
I can't describe.
I mean, a game that probably, from all accounts, would have been a barn burner with a 40-14 score in favor of Pitman last year. This is crazy. Well, we'll see if he can get crazier for Riverside. Handed off to Justin Mary Jr. He gets about 7 yards. He's going to take that one down. Coming in is number 55, Robert Graves.
Ladies and gentlemen, get your 50-50 tickets out. Get your 50-50 tickets out. Winning 50-50 number is 386-6403.
Folks, this broadcast is brought to you by the Garden State Pet Center, the one-stop shop for all things pet-related, from the healthiest product choices available in terms of dog and cat food to toys, cages, and accessories. As John Boston is going to be enough for a Riverside first down. Visit today in person 7 days a week on the 200 block of Whitehorse Pike in Audubon or online at exoticpetsnj.com. If I ever have enough money for a pet lizard, that's where I will go. I've always wanted a bearded dragon. I think he would make a great addition to the Dan Wilkins broadcasting staff. John Boston gets a run, breaks away. He's down inside the 15. John Boston on the carry.
Number 6, Porter Kostiak.
And now 8:20 left in the third with Riverside charging again.
1st and 10, ball spotted at the Pitman 15-yard line.
Remember, this is the second of 3 home games in a row for Pitman. They play the Lower Cape May Tigers on October 6th. Justin Mary Jr. gets a little bit out of that. $7:40 now left in the third.
Second down and 7.
I mean, if you're Chris Thomas right now, I mean, this is a stress-inducing situation, to say the least. See what they can do. Handoff. Boston gets warmed.
Boston to carry. Tackle number 51, Ethan Louder.
That's going to set up third down at about mid-range from 12 yards away from the ultimatum in the end zone. I mean, hey, this has been a back-and-forth game. Riverside led by as much as 9. That's the biggest lead anybody's held all day. John Boston again tries to find a gap. We'll see where they spot this one. It looks like it's going to be inside 10, and it's going to be 4th and short.
Big down right here.
Well, we know that these guys are 99% likely to go for it because they haven't attempted a PAT. They haven't attempted a field goal.
Down and about 1 for Riverside.
I mean, field goals are a lot rarer in high school if you don't have the resources, if you don't have a full-time kicker. Oh, look at Brown. He strips away. He goes for the pylon. Touchdown, Riverside.
Touchdown, Riverside.
The saga continues as the visitors take home another one. And that is going to make it 22-21. I would have never thought that this was going to be our best broadcast of the year. I mean, obviously, any team can still run away with this, and I could, I could have my shoe in my mouth. But it's, this is very well looking like it could be a game of the year candidate. They're going to go for 2, yeah. You'd be right, Vince. To make it a 3-point game. Riverside already leads. Justin Mary Jr. breaks through, and that is good. 2-point conversion is good. They're 3 for 3, 100%, and it is a 3-point game. Riverside leads 24-21, but don't let those conventional football numbers fool you. They were not made in conventional means. 6:16 left in the third. We'll take a quick break. Riverside leads by 3.
Receiver Pitman, number 4.
Josh Winkler going to send this one away. Liner. A lot of them have been low trajectories tonight. Tinges on the return. He runs into his own man and gets down at the 44. A la Mark Sanchez, although he held on to the ball.
Tackle number 9, Teddy Hawkins.
Hawkins on the tackle. I mean, yeah, he had the tackle, but I think Tinges, it looked like number 23, Jonathan Spaeth. It looked like he ran into him. But we've seen it before. That usually doesn't bode well, but he hung on to it. Devaney, hand off to Tinges.
Number 4, Trey Tinges will carry.
And he's going to carry this far. And now the whistle's blown. It's going to be a Pitman first down.
Tackle number 65, Zaire Alley Lewis.
I would have never thought that play would have enough momentum. Tinges again. They're staying with what works. He is down at the 45 on the opposite side. No huddle here. They're going back to it in the I form. Again, staying with what works. They're going to do it again. Tinges. It's going to need an oxygen bottle at some point. a tank of oxygen at the end of this.
Tackle number 0, Isaiah Alley Lewis.
So Isaiah Alley Lewis on the tackle. I mean, just for a perspective of what the NJ.com writers and the South Jersey Times writers thought were going to, kind of confer with the scores here. Bill Evans thought it was going to be. Wait.
Oh, wow, that's incredible. They didn't catch that.
You saying on Riverside? You
Yeah,
saw a jump?
It was a clear jump. There's no reason that. Wow.
Well, we'll see what they can do. Tinges.
It's
a couple of yards here. Tinges with 4 straight carries, but Bill Evans said Pitman would win 35-12. Kevin Minnick said it would be a little bit closer, 18-12. And Tony Cosentino said it would be 21-17 in favor of Pitman. But a lot of times these 3 writers are in agreement on who is going to win, but everybody betted against Riverside, and now they're paying the price for it. Play fake, Kubat. Is he just going to run it himself?
He's going to go.
Yeah, he is, but he gets tugged hard.
Tackle number 0, Isaiah Alley Lewis.
So Isaiah Alley Lewis gets the tackle on Kubat after he carried it himself. You saw that? You saw that? Handoff. Tinges again.
Before Trey Tinges on the carry.
How many darn carries is Trey Tinges going to get tonight?
You got the DeAndre Swift right now of Pitman, ladies and gentlemen.
Trey Tinges, the junior, 5'9", 160 pounds, had 375 rushing yards and 5 rushing touchdowns last year. 2 this year, 35 carries, 247 yards. Had 110 in the 13-14 loss to Shalik in week 1. Kubat drops back. He's in trouble. Hit as he throws, and it's going to go nowhere.
Number 5, Kyle Kubat's pass, intended for number 1, Stephen Devaney, falls incomplete. Fourth down and 8 for Pitman. Ball spotted at the Riverside 29-yard line.
Kubat lets it fly. Nah, that one's going nowhere.
Number 5, Kyle Kubat's pass, intended for number 1, Steve Devaney.
It's going to be a turnover.
Pitman's going to turn the ball over on down. Riverside's going to start off with a 1st and 10. Ball spotted at their own 29-yard line.
Well, that's a big hole in their sails for Pitman, because I think after, having such a high ceiling, after those 2 kicks went their way, and then Riverside got back on the board, you do all that, but it seems like the results aren't really there. But as we said, when Pitman wins, they win big. But when they've lost, if those scores go the other way, Pitman's a 3-0 team. Oh, he's still up. Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
They are taking him along for the wildest ride of his life. And that's going to be a 1st down, Riverside. I mean, how many times do you see a running back so dominant that they just carry the defensive line with them?
I think that was more the defensive line pushing the running back with him.
1st and 10, Riverside.
Those 2. I mean, the thing is with the running back, you get him in there, usually a small guy or so, they push them, and they will just, you'll see it multiple times in football, the crowd just keeps on moving. That's from everybody contributing.
They're like a herd of buffalo.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, a bit of a late hit in the back, but I thought that might have been called, but that was number 8, Omari Benjamin, and the carry by Justin Mary Jr. Seemed like these guys have a slew of running backs. I mean, you've got Justin Mary Jr., you've got John Boston, you've seen Jameer Brown be his own running back at times. These guys are here to stay, if I say so myself.
2nd down and 1 for Riverside.
Handoff.
Number 2, John Boston on the carry. Number 56, Dominic Stathio, tackle.
And they're actually going to send that one across for a first down for Riverside at the Pitman 46.
First and 10, Riverside, ball spotted at the Pitman 46-yard line.
Handoff. John Boston
Boston
falls on his back, and that's going to be about 4 yards. I got to say, Riverside has had ebbs and flows during the game, but when they're in control, they are in control 100%. You know, they have both hands on the steering wheel. They are driving and driving and driving, and they just keep getting first down after first down after first down. They've got to work a couple plays to get it. Pitman's defense is not laying down for them, but Riverside isn't making it easy for Pitman, and Pitman's not making it easy for Riverside. And both teams are just really going at it in what has been a great example of what makes a good rushing game here in high school football. Handoff to Boston. He gets a couple tackles broken through, including Chase Rollins. That's going to be about a 3-yard gain. That's going to be third down with about 12 seconds left, and they're just going to call everybody off the field here. They're not going to try to rush it, so yeah, we're going to let it run. 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year, Auld Lang Syne. That will end the third quarter. 24-21 in favor of the visitors. We've still got 12 minutes to play. Don't go anywhere. This game isn't going anywhere, that's for sure. 24-21. We'll be right back. Garden State Pet Center is...
DJK Roofing is an American-known company that cares about our customers. We answer the phone 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and offer financing options to keep cash in your pocket. Even in our busiest times, estimates happen within 24 hours if needed. Most jobs can be completed in 1 day. Our measurement techniques ensure accuracy, so there are no extra waste materials when we replace your roof. We treat our home like it's yours. From the biggest to the smallest jobs, the owner will be on site to oversee the operation. Our employees are not permitted to smoke on jobs, and cleanup is so good that it might be cleaner than we realize. For all your roofing needs, call DJK Roofing now.
Well, folks, you've seen our 3 commercials here on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. If you want to get in on the fun, if you're a small business owner and you want to get your advertisement out in front of over 50,000 annual viewers, send me an email at thedanwilkinsshow@gmail.com or send me a text at 856-912-1302. Sponsorship packages start for as little as $150, and we can film your commercial for as little as $250 with advertisements included, with over 50,000 annual viewers on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting.
Tackle number 11, Chase Rollins.
Put your business on the map with DWB. We've got Tommy D's Home Improvement Center in Philadelphia. We've got DJK Roofing in Moorestown. Garden State Pet Center in Audubon. Vincent's Lawn Service in Haddon Heights. KP1 Racing Designs in Bucks County, PA. If you want to be a part of the action, just send me an email or call today. That one is going to be another rush by Boston. I've made the pun several times tonight, but I'll say it again. He's shipping up the Boston, and that's going to bring about 5 yards there. Second down and mid-range. See, I did not have making several Dropkick Murphy references on my football bingo card tonight. But as you know, on Dan Wilkins Broadcasting, we have a legal obligation to make really bad puns, especially as the game goes on, and I get more unhinged.
Number 2, John Ball.
That one's going to be third down. Don't forget, folks, our next football broadcast will be Friday, September 29th, Glassboro and Clayton. Going to be a good one. And then Woodbury and Gloucester to follow on September 30th. Our next broadcast in general will be Salem Community College softball, facing Ann Arundel and Delaware Tech, 10 a.m. on Sunday, September 24th. Pending the rain, of course. Handoff.
Number 1, Justin Berry Jr. the carry. Tackle number 6, Porter Koskiak.
It's going to be enough for Riverside first down. Some out-of-town scores. Middle Township defeated Gateway 40-7. Panthers improved to 5-0. Cumberland leads Bridgeton 15-13 at the half.
Number 2, John Boston with the carry.
Boston with the carry again.
Tackle number 23, John Spade.
Delsey leads Kingsway 21-0. Donovan Catholic leads Wall 14-0.
Second down and 7 for Riverside. Ball spotted at the Pitman.
Clearview defeated Egg Harbor Township 45-12. Second and 7. Gets in the middle of that one for a couple of yards. Third down.
Number 7, Jarena Brown on the carry. Tackle number 52, Aiden Nowert.
Hamilton and Mainland are tied 7-7 in the third quarter.
Third down.
New Egypt defeated Palmyra 28-0.
Number 2, John Boston on the carry.
Yeah, they're still moving. And Riverside continues to drive. This has been just a crazy game in my opinion.
Yeah.
And this is going to stop the clock. There is a Pitman player injured. Sitting down, it's number 25, Chris Wiley. Hopefully he's okay. 8:31 left in the fourth quarter.
Yeah,
And also, yeah, Riverside has just turned on the Jets in the second half. I think that Pitman saw Riverside leading. They took it personally. They had all the momentum, and they scored. They had the lead, but now Riverside's back in the driver's seat. They've regained control, but there's still plenty of time. The problem is, as Chris Wiley getting helped off here with assistance, the problem is that if Riverside scores another touchdown, they're going to be up by 2 scores.
it's going to put in a weird position.
Pittman is going to be in a really weird position if Riverside scores. If they can hold them to 3, 27-21, that's easily doable. But the question is, with how both defenses have been today, do you really want to be put in that situation? I say no. First and goal for Riverside. They've got to make a stop here, but Boston
John Boston
is going to get a couple yards. Maybe that's going to be about it. It's going to be second down and goal. Don't forget, folks, to tune in for Tri-County Conference Boys Soccer on Monday the 25th. With weather permitting, of course, the Wildwood Warriors and the Gloucester Catholic Rams. Start time 4 p.m. from RCSJ Sewell, which is where Gloucester Catholic plays their soccer games.
Second down and goal. Ball spotted at the Pitman 7-yard line.
This might be the most pivotal play of the night. Student section on their feet to our right. Brown to the left. And Chase Rollins with the tackle. That's going to be third down.
Brown the carry. Tackle number 11, Chase Rollins.
Now, if they could stop Riverside from getting into the goal here, do you go for 3? Or do you try to put all your eggs in one basket? A penalty is declined. I didn't see what the penalty was. My apologies.
The play is declined by Pitman.
My apologies there. I didn't realize there was a penalty.
Third down and goal.
Illegal motion. Apologies.
Ball spotted at the 9-yard line.
Ball spotted at the 9. Third and goal. Big spot. Boston spins, and he is swarmed. The offensive line almost got blown up, but John Boston did as well. I mean, that was big play. Now,
Tackle number 54, Sean Powell, and number 2.
I think they're going to go for it.
Adriano Platt.
Because, look, I'm not surprised either.
Yeah.
They've gone for 2 on every single touchdown they've had tonight. Why not try it again?
Goal for Riverside.
The aggressiveness on this team has been incredible tonight,
9-yard line.
the only problem, like Dan, what you said, if you don't get this score, you're only up by 3 points. That's it.
This is surprising and yet not surprising at the same time. Brown drops back. He's got room. Pass is deflected, and that's going to be a turnover. They gambled one too many times, and they finally got a double whammy. That's going to be a turnover for Riverside, and Pitman will take this one over 24-21 with 6:39 left in regulation.
Ball spotted at their own 9-yard line.
Now the problem is, pass was incomplete, but this isn't a good spot for Pitman. They need to get through here, which is exactly what they're going to try to do here. Tinges on the carry.
Tackle number 77, George Brannon.
Yeah, George Brannon on the tackle there for Riverside. Kubat in the shotgun. To the left. Yeah, didn't really get too far. Well, now you're on 3rd down, and you're not really in a prime position. 3rd and 9.
You either go or you don't. Excuse me. If you either go or you don't, because, if you don't make
You got to sling it here. You've got to sling it here.
There's I would not go for it on 4th down. So they really need to make something of this 3rd down. Pitman really needs to get a 1st down here, because if not, if you go for it on 4th down, you're testing your luck.
They've got to just sling it. That's my take. Let it fly. That's what Kubat will do, but he's in trouble and he's sacked. Wow.
Kubat sacked by number 9, Teddy Hawkins.
Well, now what do you do? You're at 4th and a long way, and Rue's going to go back. We've seen several times where this could result in a safety if you don't play your cards right, if you're not careful. This time he gets a clean snap, sends it away.
Number 51, Ethan Loudon on the punt for Pitman.
It's going to roll past midfield, picked up by Justin Mary Jr.
Number 1, Justin Mary Jr. on the
The ball is out, but who's got it? That's going to go back to Riverside. Yeah, it's going to be Riverside's ball here. Ball was out initially, but they recovered it. We have a penalty, excuse me. Where is the white cap? There we go. Blindside block by Pitman. That not helping is an understatement. That is an understatement and a half. That is the last thing you wanted.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with now you're looking at, if Riverside was to get a touchdown here, you're going to be running against the clock.
You're going to be in a little bit of a panic mode.
You are. You're going to be in panic mode. You're going to be rushing around, and you don't want your players to get flustered. Because if Riverside does score, you're going to be put in a very tough situation, because they're going to be more than the touchdown ahead, and you'll be against the clock. Oh, we got something going on here.
Now,
hold on.
Well, now Chris Thomas is talking to the official. Chris Thomas, the teacher at Pitman and West Virginia University grad, along with assistant coaches Guy Davidson, Jim McCabe, Mike Plaganios, Jim Rizzolo, Jeff Smith, and John Weisburn.
Number 2, John Boston.
Austin again. He's getting carry after carry. I mean, this is a solidly rushing game. both teams just seem uncomfortable with the mere concept of passing.
Second down and 7 for Riverside.
4:20 left in regulation.
12-yard line.
Second down, and we've got a timeout by Riverside.
Timeout Riverside.
3:49 left in regulation. It's 24-21 in favor of the visitors. Man, what a game this has been. I mean, no matter what side you're on, you have to acknowledge that this is a masterful game that has had so many twists and turns. You know, we're looking at it from an objective standpoint of the fact that, you know, maybe I do spend a lot of nights and weekends in Pitman, but I'm still going to do this from an objective standpoint. You know, when you look at Riverside, the fact that in their history, Pitman only lost 1 out of their last 5 games that they've played against each other in the last 5 or 6 years. So with that last game being a 26-point deficit, 40-14, you have to wonder if you're Pitman. You know, maybe you bring out the archives and you look at last year's film and you say, okay, what's different? What is so different that makes this game completely different? I think it's the fact that Riverside has really bolstered their roster over this past offseason. They've made their team a lot better. And Riverside wasn't that bad last year. They were around a 500 team last year. So, you know, don't count them out, but they're in a good spot. Tackled by Tyler Marone. And another carry by
Justin Mary Jr.
Justin Mary Jr.
Tackle number 3, Tyler Marone. Third down and 3. Ball spotted at the Pitman 8-yard line.
Spotted at the 8. Third down and 4. Hand off to Boston.
Number 2, John Boston.
And a big stop there.
Tackle number 54, Sean Powell.
Timeout called by Pitman. Justin Mary Jr. in his season. Let's see if I can find him on here. I don't know if he's on NJ.com.
Timeout, Pitman.
Oh, here we go. Justin Mary. They have him as a different number. They had him as number 28. Apologies there. Justin Mary is this year only had 252 rushing yards, which isn't bad at all. Had 411 last year, 7 touchdowns, 4 rushing this year. Rushed for 89 versus Princeton, 83 versus Lindenwald, and 80 versus Shalek. So he's been pretty consistent in how he's been utilized on the field. So 256. Now it's 4th and 5. But remember, that ball has been cornered in this part of the end zone for the past, 8 minutes.
Yeah.
So if Riverside scores here, that's going to be the nail. That's going to be the nail in the coffin. But Pitman has one last shot. What will they do? I think they're going to let it fly here. Oh, and there is a penalty flag. It is on the defense.
That takes all the air out of you right there. Can't allow that to happen.
You could see the adverse reactions from Adriano Platt.
Wow.
And from the entire crowd as that moves them across to 1st and goal. And they weren't even hard counting.
Yeah.
That was just standard, didn't get it.
1st down and goal. Ball spotted at the Pitman
And
4-yard line.
even as an objective commentator, you've got to feel for Pitman. I mean, that somebody on the D-line moved, and that might have been the final push that Riverside needed for a win.
I mean, they've already been trucking down the field like crazy. You don't need to help them with their momentum. You know, they're going to keep going.
Riverside would improve to 3-1 with a win. They play Bishop Eustis next week in Pensauken. Oh, 2:49 on the clock.
3 seconds.
Hold on, we're having a clock adjustment here. There we go, 2:49 on the clock. Yeah, Riverside plays Bishop Eustis next week at home. Gloucester Catholic in Gloucester 2 weeks from now. They would improve to 3-1 with a win today. Riverside was I apologize. They were 2-7 last year with 2 shutouts to start the year. Let's just say this team is a lot different than they were last year. Boston has a run. How will the progress push them? I think it's good. It's good. Touchdown, Riverside. And that is the push they needed with 2:40 left on the clock. That's going to make it 30-21. A 9-point game, depending on what they go for, could be as much as 11.
They can go for a 2-point?
I think they will. They've done it every single other time tonight.
Well, it's worked every time. So let's see what happens.
They're going to go for 2. Justin Mary Jr. takes it himself. They're going to flick it back to Boston, hopping over a couple defenders, and it is...
John Boston the carry.
Yeah, it's going to be... Well, they're going to just check real quick.
Tackle number 2, Adriano Platt. Extra point is no good.
Yeah, extra point is no good. Okay, 30-21. Pitman needs a miracle, but they've had several of those tonight. We'll see what they can do. We'll be right back. 30-21 Riverside. Well, Riverside is up by 9, and wow. What a game this has been, regardless of what side you're on. Putting down the ball on the tee. That would be... That is number 6. Jasir Bowens.
Number 6, Jasir Bowens.
So no Josh Winkler on the kick.
Deep receiver from Pitman, number 6, Porter.
That's what I've said. Everybody with Riverside, they're all playing their own game. There's a boot. Picked up inside the 20. Tinges gets a run, and he is down at the 38. Going to be 2:33 on the clock.
See, now, right now, what Pitman's got to do, when they go down, this needs to be a touchdown. There can be nothing else. You need to get a touchdown, and what else? You need to try to get either an onside kick to try to get the ball back again, because like we said, touchdown isn't going to be enough. So you're going to need to, very important, this drive, you're working against the clock as well. You know, you only got 2:33 on the clock, so you really need to get a touchdown. Very important drive here.
I mean, I hate to burst your bubble, Vince, but I think everybody knows this is important. Kubat pass to Tinges at the 50. It's caught. He's still up, and he's down at the 43. That's going to be a first down on the first play.
Pass, complete to number 4, Trey Tinges.
By the way, for the record, the last time that Riverside was over 500 was 2014, and that was also the last time that Riverside beat Pitman. As in 2014, they won 47-7 in the last week of the regular season. Well, no 2-minute warning in high school football, yeah, but clock's going to stop at 2:08. Second down. Officials timeout here. The kicking tee was still on the field. That's not the first time this year we've seen that. Second and about 9. Getting some assistance from Pitman's assistant coaches and Chris Thomas. Kubat drops back. He's got a hole. What is he doing? He's got to keep running.
No, that's across the line of scrimmage.
That's gonna be an illegal forward pass.
Yeah, that's across the line.
I don't know what that was all about. Wow. You gotta have awareness of where you're throwing the ball.
Yeah.
It looked like it was intended for Porter Kostiak.
Yeah, he initially stepped over the line of scrimmage, I think, first. Then he cut back and stepped way over it again. It was about 3 or 4 yards in and then tried to make the throw. You really, like you said, Dan, need to know your awareness on the field.
In this kind of situation.
Yes, this can end up costing you. You really, very important situation, less than 2 minutes. You got to get together here.
They are going to line it up from the left hash at the 43.
Third down and 10, Pitman.
3rd and 10. Riverside's Teddy Hawkins getting the crowd pumped up on the visitors' side. What does Pitman have in the tank? Kubat in trouble, hit from the back, and it's incomplete, but a flag is down.
Number 5, Kyle Kubat's pass falls incomplete. Penalty on the play.
Yeah, Kubat had the ball knocked out of his hand as he threw. Holding on the offense. Wow.
Penalty's holding against Pitman.
Every single break has gone the other way.
That will definitely take the air out the offense. I mean, it's wow.
I mean, the air's been taken out of the offense about 5 times already.
Yeah, all night. Good point.
Riverside's crowd is elated. 4th and 10. In trouble. Kubat scrambling to the right. He lets it fly. Picked off.
Oh, wow.
Justin Murray Jr.
Number 5, Kyle Kubat's pass.
Justin Murray Jr. with 101 seconds. Hold on. We've got a flag.
Out of bounds, but number 1, Justin Murray Jr.
There is a flag. Oh my goodness. Don't tell me it's another illegal forward pass.
That's what I was going to say, Dan. I don't know if he crossed it.
That's another illegal forward pass on Kyle Kubat, but it's not. I don't think it's going to matter because it got picked off by Justin Murray.
Yeah, I was going to say, I didn't
Are
know
you kidding me?
He looked like he just crossed it again, and, well, like you said, Dan, it's not going to matter. It's picked.
Wow. Justin Murray Jr. with the interception puts this game on ice. Unless. Did they call it out of bounds?
Oh, so it was just
No, I mean, Kubat's off the field, so I think Riverside certainly took that over. Yeah, it was 4th down, so.
It doesn't necessarily make
Timeout, Riverside?
Yeah, timeout called on the field here, 140. I mean, the only thing that matters here is field position, because Riverside, whether they had the interception or not, it was 4th down, so it was going to be a turnover either way. So don't forget, folks, our next football broadcast will be Friday, September 29th. The Glassboro Bulldogs square off against the Clayton Clippers. And then on Saturday, September 30th, will be Woodbury and Gloucester. No broadcast tomorrow, due to a prior commitment and also due to the rain. I don't think there's going to be a lot of games being played. We might have a couple Sunday games for what we know.
1st and 10 Riverside.
Especially with the tropical storm that's coming from
47
the
yard
east.
line.
Riverside's going to put this game on ice with 1:40 left. Handoff to Boston. He spins around. He's still on his feet. And he finally gets taken down, but we're going to see where they spot this one. I think he's about, at this point, again, doesn't really matter. I think a player of the game attribute or a player of the game nominee has to be John Boston. You know, Jameer Brown has really been an all-around player, as timeout is called on the field. 1:32 left in regulation with Riverside up 30-21. But, you know, what's important is that, again, if you don't have a clear candidate, you go for the quarterback, Jameer Brown. But what's important is that John Boston was an incredible running back. Justin Mary Jr. was an incredible running back, and he also was the guy who put the game to bed. So that's what's important here. But Riverside would improve to 3-1 for their first season with 3 wins since 2019. And if they keep the momentum going, as they play Bishop Eustace and Gloucester Catholic in the next 2 weeks, they would have their first over 500 season since 2014, 9 years ago. So not only is this huge for Riverside, this is huge for their entire program. John Boston gets the final say and gets the final play.
Tackle number 1, Stephen Devaney, and number 2, Adriana Black.
Now the timeout's going to be called by Pitman to get their last one of the game. Glassboro and Clayton, and then Woodbury and Gloucester. And don't forget, folks, we start October up north with St. Joe's, Metuchen, and Edison on October the 6th, 7 p.m. start time. And then we've got a Group 1 powerhouse on October 7th, Paulsboro and Salem, 12 o'clock start time there. We've got some good games on tap. I will be brutally honest. 1:21 on the clock. I will be honest. I did not think that this was going to be a great game. I thought, a little bit biased, that Pitman was going to run away with it. But I think this is a humbling defeat for Pitman tonight. And this is a humbling game overall. What's the controversy here?
I'm starting or I'm not starting? It is running.
Handoff. Swarmed in the middle. Everybody's getting a piece of that.
Tackled by a host of Pitman Panthers.
Now the timeout's going to be called here. Number 55, Chase Perry, went for a wild ride.
That's a timeout.
Well, now a little bit of a mix-up here. So Pitman calls their last timeout.
I'm not quite sure why Pitman's calling a timeout.
Well, they'll use up their last one, but I think that this is a empowering win for Riverside. If they'll probably win versus Eustace next week. I mean, for Riverside, again, their first 500 season since 2014. They started off the year with back-to-back shutout wins in Week 1 and Week 2, and then they lost 7 in a row. They play Wildwood on the 21st, which they could also win. They play Palmyra on November 2nd, which that will probably be a Palmyra game. I easily see a 5 or 6 win season out of Riverside.
Riverside just called time.
And now Riverside has called a timeout. Big thanks to Grant Shivers and Chris Thomas for having us out here tonight. Here at Davis Field at the Pitman High School. Big thanks to everybody on the Pitman coaching staff for inviting us out here, and we had a wonderful time covering some great football.
Taking a knee.
Second down, and now Jameer Brown takes a knee. I mean, this is unprecedented for Riverside. You know, again, I'll say it again. 2 wins last year to start the year, and then 7 losses in a row. They'd outscored their opponents 65-0 in week 1 and week 2, and then were outscored, basically doubled, in the final 7 weeks of the year. And they'll take it again. So the final tonight will be Riverside 30, Pitman 21. A humbling defeat, but an empowering win for the visiting Riverside Rams, leaving a stunned home crowd. The final from tonight's game, again, Riverside 30, Pitman 21. Their first win in 9 years over the Pitman program. And this actually isn't the only Pitman football game we'll be doing this year. We'll be at the Thanksgiving game on November 23rd. And Riverside is elated.
See you guys around.
Final score, Riverside 30, Pitman 21.
Wow. I mean, these guys are shaking hands at the 50. Again, I gave my player of the game vote to John Boston. You know, he was an excellent running back, and while Riverside had a slew of running backs in their court, Justin Mary Jr. and even the quarterback Jameer Brown, I think Boston was the most standout guy out there. You know, Justin Mary Jr., he put the game on ice, but we'll bring it back here to the booth here at Davis Field for one last send-off. But Vince, you know, regardless of who we think is a player of the game candidate, how about this for being a Game of the Year candidate on DWB? I mean, you've worked a lot of games with me this year. We've had some real duds. We've had a lot of blowouts. I thought this game was going to be a blowout. Riverside proved everybody wrong tonight.
Yeah. I mean, you just look at, I mean, it was a constant powerhouse. I mean, once they would, you know, get the ball, it was constant push, and the offensive line was a tank tonight. And you just honestly look at the aggressiveness of the coaching staff.
Right.
I mean, constantly, you know, the 2-point conversions. Only one didn't work. Only one did not work tonight.
But it didn't matter in the end.
But yeah, exactly. It didn't matter in the end. And
3 for 4 on 2-point conversions is still a good number.
And a good thing is it was putting Pitman in a hard situation because they had to get the ball down to score a touchdown. But not just that, was the extra points that they had to get because of those 2-point conversions by Riverside in the beginning, first half of the game. So by Riverside doing those 2-point conversions, it kind of put more pressure on Pitman because it wasn't just that they had to get a touchdown. They would have had to get a onside kick recovered to possibly get it. But at the end of the day, Pitman really just couldn't quite get anything going. And on top of that, once they did get something going, the penalties were not going in their favor.
In that fourth quarter, I think every single unlucky break that they could have had, they had.
Yep.
They had everything just not go their way, and that's unfortunate, but it's a part of the game, you know, and that's just what happened. So we're going to sign off here. Remember, Pitman has another home game after this. They play on October the 6th versus Lower Cape May, which is a game that, after tonight, I don't know if they are going to be the clear favorites. Yeah. That's up to Bill Evans, Kevin Minnick, and Tony Costantino to debate on that. But our next debate is our football games. We're not doing a game tomorrow because of the rain. Our next broadcast will be Sunday the 24th. We'll be doing 3 games for Salem Community College and the softball team. The first game will be Salem Community College. Oh my gosh. All right. Slow that down a little bit. Salem Community College softball at 10 a.m. versus Ann Arundel. Ann Arundel plays Delaware Tech at 12, and Delaware Tech plays Salem at 2. So it'll be a good game. Big thanks to the Salem Community College for having us out here, and from everybody here at Dan Wilkins Broadcasting. My social media coordinator, Anthony DePalma, and Justin Whitekettle. My wonderful producer, Vincent Vogt. Our graphics crew, Gavin Van Rel and Caleb Lane. I'm Dan Wilkins. If you're here just for us in general, we'll see you Sunday. If you're here for football, we'll see you on Friday the 29th. Glassboro and Clayton is our next broadcast for Friday Night Lights. We'll see you next time. Get some rest and get some bread, milk, and eggs because the tropical storm's coming this weekend and you might need it. So have a good one, everybody. We'll see you next week.